Hello. So this is wireframing, and this is getting ready to start on assignment number 3, reviewing the simplicity lessons. So let's go to that link. And the simplicity lessons are, going to click see 6 more in simplicity. So one of the key elements to consider when designing is simplicity. As you're addressing a problem, simplicity is the customer's experience is essential. Again, it's kind of like writing. You want to be as concise as possible. You don't want to get overly flowery with the words. Short and sweet is kind of where it's at. And the same thing with design. This is especially the case with technology products or services that can handle health, money, or long-term decision making. Whenever there's already some stress. So communicating a message clearly and quickly to your audience will help you better serve them. With a clear message, your product will seem and hopefully be more meaningful to your customers. Often, whenever you creating something simple is more difficult than creating something that's more complex. I agree wholeheartedly with that statement. Simplicity in design is not necessarily the opposite of complexity, but the revealing of the complex information in a measured and easy to digest way. Considering a presentation or a movie, elements are revealed over time, and they build on each other to create a more complex idea. Taking a lot of information and breaking it into pieces for your customers to digest can convey large amounts of data. As we discovered in the research lesson, one of the first steps to designing is defining your customers' goals and problems are. From there, designing an interface with those considerations in mind, you can help your customers accomplish their goals. So by doing the research to understand your customers, you can use that data to design a product that lacks elements that are inconsequential. So you just want to focus on what's necessary, and again, not to be over full of stuff that's not necessary. You want to avoid the distractions where you can. If all unnecessary information is stripped away, it leaves your customer with the essentials required to solve their problems. So, for example, in this Photos app by Google, it's trying to solve several problems, but hides the non-crucial information behind a menu, which I'm assuming is one of these two buttons. Or displays that information in a contextual situation. The customer is presented with just their photos in search bar. Likely, the two things Google's customers are looking for when they open their app is they want to see their photos and they want to look for a specific moment. The app goes further by trying to solve a variety of problems like sharing, sorting, and even automatic organization. The app offers some machine learning aided options for searching specific images, such as pets. Another way to maintain simplicity is to use the benefit of existing paradigms and visual languages that your customers may already be used to. So if you notice, there's a lot of landing pages or pricing pages across companies that look similar. Like the navigation is, primarily at the top. Every now and then you might see it on the left-hand side. As people read from top, left to right and top to bottom. But the nav is always somewhere up there. Okay, more often than not, it's on the top. Some do it on the sides, but it's not something you would find on the bottom. They're used to a certain kind of format, and if they go into something completely strange, just because you want to be different's not always good. They may walk away and say, yours is too hard. Design patterns can become popular across multiple products and companies. Individuals don't always create designs in a vacuum, as we'll experiment with in the exercise. Creating a mood board for inspiration is common practice, and the research of similar problem solution sets is used to understand how other designers have tackled those challenges. Let's see. A lot of what is created can be dictated by the language of design systems, like material design, through that book or by Google, and Apple's human interface guidelines and patterns throughout popular usage. A design system is a series of components and elements intended to be reused in different combinations. A design system can help manage the designing and building of products and interfaces at scale. Facebook popularized the hamburger menu, a visual metaphor for the rows of options seen in the application menus, like this right here. And it doesn't necessarily occur to every customer of Facebook's what the lines represent, but it's been used on their platform for a long enough period of time that the customers have become accustomed. So, like Hocking colleges, and probably a lot of other websites that you go to, when you look in a smaller screen size, you see the menu button's got the hamburger. Everybody just kind of knows what that is now. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. One way to maintain simplicity is by maintaining conventions. So the hamburger button is a good example of a convention. A significant amount of mobile device customers learn the hamburger. Okay. Another way to heighten simplicity is to increase white space. That is a space between elements, allows customers to focus on individual objects without the distraction of what's surrounding it. So I want to open up Figma. This is the last project that, the last exercise that we did. I want to open that up and show you. Okay. So I have white space, and then I have colors in between the white space. And the reason for that is on this one right here is so that it differentiates. It's different. And so I don't want it all to be blue. I want it to, or all to be orange, or all to be white. I want to differentiate it so that people can kind of distinguish and just focus on one thing at a time. Piper, stop it. Okay, so in a later section, we'll dive deeper into Gestalt principles, or how the eye moves around a design. One of the elements of guiding your customers around is the open space around objects. Keeping lots of space around a button makes that button easier to find and tap. So we have a good amount of space here, so I think we're good on that. Simplicity is a balance between reducing noise and obfuscating necessary information. But there's a risk of oversimplification. A good rule of thumb for app design is, can a customer perform a standard action, the action that they often come to, what your app is for to begin with, within 3 to 5 taps. So that was, I believe, the only lesson in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and the next is this.